So somebody gave me a dried fig about 5 years ago, and I became obsessed with figs and started growing my own trees. I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I experiment. I watch guys like the Millennial Gardener on YouTube. That guy's great. And I experiment and I learn. So this Christmas, on December 28th, I pruned this tree right here. I'm in the Northeast Zone 6, and this is a Chicago fig. So I pruned it and I tried to grow my own cuttings, which I'll show you in a minute. But when I prune this, I noticed last year after I pruned this, I tried to make this like candelabra thing going out. And you can see I kind of pulled it off where I've got like one of the main branches into 3. And I'm trying to make it go a little more. I've got same thing here, branched into 3 or 4 right there. And what I noticed is last year, all of my, my figs came on new growth. It might be common knowledge to some. I didn't know that. And so when I prune these, I tried to prune it about, an inch or so above of a node. The nodes are these lines in the fig. You can see them right here. So when I prune it an inch above the node right here, it generally tends to, grow out of the last node. And I didn't think it was going to grow below this year, but it's actually, I've got some growth below this older growth right here, which is great because I didn't think that was going to happen. I've got it happening there too. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this, right now it's May 23rd or so, and this is about 1 month's worth of growth because it's been pretty cold here. But if you're pruning it, make sure you don't do what I did right here. You can see there's the node right there, but I actually cut through the node on this side. And I should have just paid more attention and cut it up and left a little bit of space, and I probably would have had some growth coming out of here. So live and learn. This is a bush that I had. This is an Olympia fig. And this bush had about, gosh, like 50 things coming out of it in the bottom. So last year I took it, I dug it up, and I turned it sideways so it would grow away from the fence for the most part. You can see it needs water too. And I cut it down to 7 different limbs coming out. I'm getting tons of growth on this in 1 month, but it still has it's only produced figs like 1 time on one of these branches. So I want to see what happens this year. So after I pruned this Chicago fig right here, I took the cuttings and I used dip and grow. And, I put them into these 20-ounce cups and I put some mulch in there and a good type of soil. And I actually had 12 of them. And right now I've got 8 of them growing, 4 left that still haven't come alive yet. I actually thought they were not going to grow because I had one of them grow and none of them grew. And then all of a sudden I have 8. So give it some time if you're doing this. There you can see one of them right there. There's another one right there. Over here is the first one to start growing, and it's pretty good size, so that's all since December 28th. I just took these cuttings, put them in here, and I misted them every day to keep the tops and the stalks from getting dried out. It was a little bit of effort. I was kind of into it, so every day I'd mist them, or every day or so, and they just eventually grew. I kept them inside, and as the weather started to change, I would bring them outside for a minute or so. Not a minute. I'd bring them outside for an hour or so, let them adjust to the outside temperature, and then when it got warm, they just started to pop. So pretty happy with that. There's another one right there. Actually, is there a note on the top? I actually thought I've got one coming out here, one coming out here, so I really like that out of those nodes. And there's 2 nodes below the surface to give it 2 shots to grow roots. So pretty happy with that. That's my update. Olympia figs, Chicago fig. This was a great producer last year, and hoping some of these take off and work.